Hello, this is Olivia. I got inspired to do a video here because I read this terrible story about this man who lost 110,000 euros, and he explains in a blog, and the blog's been carrying on for a while because he's trying to attack a broker, saying how he'd been coerced into, adding more money by some nifty salesman, etc., etc. So I don't know what is the truth. Often you're responsible for your own. If you want to go and put 110,000 on a very speculative market, that's you have to take some of the responsibility yourself. But the story is terrible, and the internet is full of stories like that, and there are a lot of very dishonest people. Now, I want to say again, and I've had a terrible time on MT4 because I'm I'm probably the most honest person there, and I've been honest all my life. I've worked for Credit Suisse. Have a long history where I was at Credit Suisse, where it's difficult to get through the door if you haven't gone to Stanford or any university like that. Selection process is very tough. I became a director. I was there for 9 years. I was in charge of France. I got many offers to do all sorts of shady deals, which I never ever took up. I would have a lot more in my bank account right now if I had taken them up. And that is not my objective. My objective is I love trading, and I left the business with huge guarantees, a very set future, and I'd actually moved to Deutsche Bank with, headhunted out a large guarantee, and I said, what the hell? I want to be free. I want to have no boss. I don't want to have somebody coming in every day trying to, bring me down to size because I have a big ego. I don't want to deal with the trading room guys because they were jealous of my success. This is nothing new. This trolling has been the story of my life. Okay? Uh, but I want to re-emphasize that on MT4, I'm extremely, extremely uh, honest, and I show honest programs. So whatever you think, they should be probably a lot more expensive given the technology that I've put in there. And how did this all happen? First of all, this is a black box, self-op, which is my first big project that I did on MT4. That was number one and number two bot for 6 months. And that was a record, okay? We had an amazing chat room. We had forums. People were happy. People were making 30, 40% a month. And then, what? Greed came in. People with $300 accounts thought they could make a fortune overnight. And of course, some things went wrong because I kept on adding features that clients wanted. There was no limit to what leverage you could do. This Russian person put a signal up where he was making 70, 80%, but he using huge lots that I should have stopped, but I didn't. And, you know, I started getting blamed for all this stuff, where all I did was offer a robot and keep on telling people you're using the wrong money management, be careful. But, obviously some accounts blew up, and then a huge conspiracy, terrible hatred towards me, especially from very small accounts. The professionals were very happy with my service, and I had to retire the program. And instead, I replaced it by the Scalper, which basically has all the technology of the black box. You can see here the main difference that nobody saw at the end of the black box to avoid uh, blow-ups is these filters that will stop you. I have two filters there. One very complex using delta changes in trends over various time frames in the future. So it will, and any channel trader that you can find here does not self-learn, does not go back 2,000 bars. Look, the future means nothing in these markets. The market changes all the time. This is all you're concerned about. This has to be constantly adjusted, okay? And this is what the self-op does. Up to it does forward testing, back testing, and then comes up with some lines that will be used, and then uses two filters, okay? So there's no way anybody can make an EA that complex that quickly. It took me, I don't know, I think we had 7 versions of this one, and we now have the scalper. Now the scalper is the same black box module, but with a lot of MM and a lot of improvements to stop you from blowing up. My new programs, the BBSO scalper and the BBNN, which is a completely different system. It's based on neural thinking, will not blow you up. I mean, the BBNN by itself has a very small. It's a pity I don't have a signal just showing that, but I'm tired of signals. Signals is food for trolls. Most FX books. I've been offered money for my FX book, okay? I have a couple of good FX books and I've been offered money for it. Now, what does that mean? People want to buy a good FX book, and why do all bots have good FX books? What do you think? So everybody falls for these FX books. Everybody falls for these back tests. I mean, a lot of things back test properly on MT4, but you know how old the technology of MT4 is? It's just so old, it doesn't work anymore. I mean, most of the good EAs that I've bought don't back test. You have to trust them. You have to trust the theory and try it yourself. How can this is terrible? This stale data. Where do they get the? Have you ever thought where they get their data from? What is the data? It's not even your broker's data. How do they cut it up? How do they use it? How can you self-optimize, you know, a program that's using tester like this one? How can you self-optimize it? It's just not possible. So most people are buying EAs on FX books and backtest. That's what people do on MT4. That's why the top bots, you know, are selling like that. But they make the top bots making about 3 trades a day. You're not going to get rich that way. You know, a couple of euros. Woohoo, woohoo, two or three. And you're paying $500 for it because it has a good back test. I mean, come on, it's ridiculous. And then the other one, you got another one, $850. It has, you know, some FX books that look great. And have you ever seen a bot that doesn't have a great FX book? Doesn't that make you think twice? I mean, Jesus, do you want to buy my FX book to sell your bot? It's ridiculous. Like go to the people who've been around who are just, you know, I have so much technology in my programs, and you know, I can't guarantee anything. Of course, you know, it could be an atomic bomb tomorrow. Things can change, but my new scalper has built-in systems that will not make you blow up. It just won't. Uh, you know, it starts getting serious when you have a $10,000 account. But I won't tell you what's going on, but it just will not make you blow up. And my BBNN's even better. It's got a neural system that completely stops anybody. So the worst that can happen to you is that you don't lose your money. And you know how much that's worth in the business world now? You know how much that's worth not losing your money? I mean, you see so many signals. I'm up 70%, I'm up 80%, I'm up, and then, you know, they're gone a year later. Okay, some of mine are gone, but I have proof that I've cashed them out. And if you want proof, I'll put it up again because I've kept all they're still there. They're still there. They've gone private because I've cashed them out. I didn't want people to know what I did, but you know, I've cashed out none of my signals have blown up, and they're all cashed out. And I just want to re-emphasize that if I wanted to be dishonest, I would have been dishonest years ago when I was at Credit Suisse, and we were talking millions. I was making $12 million a year, not personally, but for the firm. Imagine how my bonuses were, and imagine some of the deals people offered me because we had certain products that people wanted very, very badly. We were in the hot IPO market. We brought out companies like Yahoo, etc. And if you know the IPO market, and I was in charge of France and I was dealing out IPOs, you know, I was in a powerful position. So if I wanted to be dishonest, you know, why am I doing this? Because I think it's a great system, because I trade with it, and I think everybody should be trading with the system. And I like the self-adaptation. I'm working into neurals. I love neurals. But you know, my neurals, people say, if you're so good, why are you selling your bots? Well, I'll tell you something. I do have a great bot that I can't put it into MT4. I've tried, and I'm not going to sell it. I think it's going to be on my signal. It's a neural, and you're going to see what a neural can do, a real neural that I've spent thousands of dollars on, and I've had 3 or 4 people work on. So this is what I'm doing, and this is just an editorial to say I'm honest. and I'm giving you an elite product, and it's not going to be cheap. It's not going to be a cheap robot. If you want to go buy cheap robots, you're welcome to go ahead. Mine are never going to be cheap. There's too much technology. I'd rather take them off than sell them for nothing. So it's for the elite, and I'm very happy with my client base. They're mainly lawyers, doctors, dentists, uh, pilots, intelligent people, and 80% of my clients are from America because most of my business comes from YouTube or Twitter, so not for MT4. So if you have $300 in a dream, I can help you, but you need to learn how to grind, okay? Grind. You need how to learn how to grind yourself into retirement. Okay, this is Olivier signing off with a late night for